by a panel. James Peterson, he teaches English and African Studies at Bucknell University. And I'm also joined by Jeff Johnson, a correspondent for BET Television. He's also a political commentator. Jeff, I'll start off with you. Last night, Rachel Maddow had another great show, as she always does, but she talked about negro-phobia, that you have the Acorn story, the Van Jones story, this story with Miss Sherrod, and then this new Black Panther story playing out on one network, Fox, and that the common denominator is to use race as a political tactic to win back the White House at the expense of blacks and whites by presenting negro-phobia, as she called it. What do you think of that?
I think Rachel did a great job of dealing with a psychosis that exists, but I think what we're also dealing with is a fear, a phobia to fight on the other side. I think clearly we can deal, the right wing and the Tea Party know exactly what they're doing. My issue is less with them. They're not false advertising. They're doing what they say they're going to do. My issue is, when will the left, and in particular, when will this administration begin to defend those that they bring in on a level that I think is commensurate with the service that they bring in prior to. So Van Jones is an example. Sherrod is an example of two individuals in particular that have a history of service that were not effectively defended by this administration when the right manipulated, in many cases, things that they had said and done.
So James, let me bring you in on this this negrophobia, as Rachel referred to it last night. I mean, is that something that could be effective, where you're looking at the political landscape? You say the majority of the country is white, 13% they're about African American, and the way to affect this president is to put him in these situations, as we saw with Sherrod, created a situation that race becomes the issue, and those who are fearful about the economy and other issues then resort to, I don't want to use the word clinging, but go back to what's most comfortable, which is people like you.
Unfortunately, race is a political football that's very easy to use, and we've seen since the campaign of Barack Obama all the way through this and going into the second year, or through the second year of his presidency, that unfortunately his political enemies have been able to use race very, very effectively to polarize us. Now, obviously, there are some people in our country who still have some of those residual racist feelings, but there is also a larger population that's still uncomfortable with dialogues about race.
Right.
And to the extent that his opponents...
And then there's a part of the segment who wants to get past it too, and who
Sure.
want to talk about issues and don't always want to be burdened with race. I want to bring
But Tamron, we can't get past it if we don't actually. Eric Holder said it, I think, better than anybody else.
We don't have the courage.
We are a country of cowards when it comes to the issue of race.
That's exactly right.
And I don't think the administration has been as courageous as they need to be in at least creating the environment, because there's so many other issues they need to deal with, but an environment to talk about race constructively needs to be created.
Let me read an op-ed from the Washington Post from Eugene Robinson. He said the Sherrod case has fully exposed the right-wing campaign to use racial fear to destroy Obama's presidency. And I hope the effect is to finally stiffen some spines in the administration. The way to deal with bullies is to confront them, not run away. That is what my mother taught me in second grade. You don't run from a bully, you stare him down. But it is easier said.
But that's easier said than done, Tamron, because listen, let's look at the track record. The Obama administration has lost every single issue having to do with race. Jeremiah Wright to the beer summits, it doesn't matter what it is, they're going to lose. So
they're losing, James, because the tactics are wrong. The administration is like the British trying to fight in the French Indian War. They keep lining up in formation, and they're getting taken out from the left and the right. And so the tactics need to be different. The level of sophistication needs to change.
Nuance,
but the track record is not about them losing, it's about them fighting the wrong way.
Well, gentlemen, we got some breaking news. We have some breaking news I have to report to our audience, and obviously this is not a topic that can be wrapped up in a few minutes, but thank you so much for joining us. Jeff, thank you. James as well. The breaking news